financial growth, security, and success for tomorrow. It's time for the Business Edge on V1370. Here's your host from HFS Associates, Angie Huffman.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Business Edge and this week's topic, how to get your home office organized. I'm Angie Huffman, your host from HFS Associates, an accounting and business advisory services firm. You can find out more about us at www.hfs-associates.com. And once again, welcome to Barbara Boone of Busy Bee Organizing Services. She's here today to help us with figuring out how to get a grip on all that clutter in our offices, especially our home offices that may also serve as the child's playroom, the family hub center. So, Barbara, tell us a little bit about you, your business, and why are you qualified to even give us guidance in this area?
Well, thank you, Angie, for having me on today. My business is organizing home-based business people or busy professionals. And I have always loved organizing, and I've had 3 careers. This is my 3rd career, and in my first career as a teacher, I had to be organized, and it just came naturally to me. And so people would walk into my classroom and say, "You're so organized," and I'd kind of roll my eyes and say, "Well, how do they know that?" So it just pops out all the time.
Why did you need to be organized as a teacher? Because we all had those teachers that you could tell were not organized.
In order to survive.
Okay, but what do you mean, in order to survive? What was important?
In order to have my plans ready for the children when they came in order to have the classroom arranged so that the children knew exactly where to look for things, where to put their pencils, their notebooks, everything had to be, I think, in order. It makes the day go much smoother if you have all of those things arranged ahead of time.
Okay. And so now you've just taken those skills and have applied them to manage, helping small business owners manage their home office.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So before we get too far along and forget to do this, tell people how to reach you, Barbara.
Okay. They can reach me at my website, which is www.bzbeeorganizing.com, or they can email me at barbara@bzbeeorganizing.com. My business phone number is 443-854-3563.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Barbara. Now, one thing that comes to mind, and I've actually, as an accountant, I really like to see my clients' records organized and so forth. And I've tried to coach them in that. And you often get the response, well, and you walk into what looks like this landmine of paper in someone's office, and you get the response, well, I know where everything is. I can put my finger on anything you ask for. So I say, okay, so find me last year's tax return. And you know what? 99.9% of the time, within 15 seconds, they can find it. They can put their hands right on it. So, what I get from that, I've learned that not everyone is organized the same way. So how do you tailor your services for the different personalities you meet? How do you make sure whatever organizing system you help them set up is something that really works with their personality? Because some people, they need all that clutter around them to be able to think and create, especially I find with creative people. Me, I think maybe it's being an accountant, though I've seen some really horrible accountants' offices, but I need my desk clear. I need everything cleared out for me to be able to focus. So how do you deal with that?
Well, when I started to organize, I thought that I would just walk into a client's office and I would show them my system. I've always been organized, and why wouldn't that work for other people? But as I got into the business and I took classes, I did seminars, read a lot of books, I found out very, very quickly that everyone has a different style.
Okay.
And if I was to be successful with a client, what I needed to do was to find out about their style.
Okay.
And so before we even get down to work, I actually ask them a lot of questions about how do you work? Show me, your system throughout the day so that I could work with them. I've also run across a lot of information that would help me to organize different types of clients. And some of those have been excellent books such as Organizing for the Creative Person, Organizing for Your Brain Type, and ADD-Friendly Ways to Organize, so that I can look at many different styles of organizing for clients and suggest something for them.
Okay. So give us an example. Say for the creative person that needs to have all this stuff around them in order to be able to create, how do you help them still create some sense of order out of that?
That's a really good question, because coming from the point of view that I have always been organized, I had to step out of myself and try to put myself in their shoes and say, well, okay, now if they need all of their stuff out, what do I do? What kind of system do I create? And I found some very unique systems. I have found a mail sorter, or you'll see them in businesses. They are literature sorters where you put lots of paper. And so it has them having their papers organized where they can see them, but they are in an organized fashion, not in a desk drawer, but they are out. Also, I've also said to many clients, when you have used up your horizontal space, then you go vertical. So I will suggest for clients who need to have things out, put something on the wall beside you or behind you. There are folders, plastic type of folders that you can attach to the wall that you can put things in. So in many cases, that seems to satisfy the clients who are more creative and need to have things out before them.
Okay. What are some other different types of personalities you've seen for organizing? And, tell us about some of your clients and what you've done for them.
Well, I've had a lot of variety in my clients, which I really like because I'm a person of variety. I've had different fields. I've had people in education. I've had the health fields. I've had law. I've had business, homeowners. It's just a variety, and I really enjoy doing something different for each client. For instance, I've had a client who was in the health and wellness business, and she was pretty organized when I walked into her office. And what I noticed, though, was she didn't have a system for her tax receipts. And I find that is one of the biggest challenges for people.
Yeah, I'm laughing because very often I get those shoe boxes at tax time where everything's just in a shoe box, and then as we're going through everything, then there's still additional items that when I ask about, they're not there. So let's get to the heart of my matter, and how do you help people organize all that tax information?
Exactly. I teach a seminar in January on organizing your tax receipt information. And it's a very, very easy system. It's not complicated. And I show them using an expandable folder. And we label. Labeling is very big in the organizing world. Label everything. And so we label by deductions.
Okay.
And so they have, as we go through and find out what deductions they need for their business, then we label each little folder. When it comes time to, once they've purchased something, then I suggest to them that they either put it in some kind of computer format, QuickBooks, Quicken, Excel spreadsheet, but then to put the receipt in this expandable file under the deduction.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, when it comes time to take it to your accountant, all you have to do is add up the category and give them the figures. You don't have the shoebox.
Right.
You have the expandable folder, which will house your tax receipts.
Okay. And of course, if you've been also inputting that data into some kind of accounting software program, then, that's all you really need to bring to your accountant, and they might want to see what we call in the accounting world the source documents, which would be those receipts. And you'll be able to also then give that to them in an organized way so that they can find it if they need to figure out what is this exactly and where should it go on the tax return.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. What are some other examples of people that, other types of things that you've put into place for people?
I've recently worked with a really fun client. She had moved back to Baltimore, and she was taking over her husband's business. And she had an apartment, very small, and she had a bedroom for her office. And so when we went in, we just kind of looked at a lot of different issues. And we looked at her file management, her supply closet, organizing her desktop, organizing the entire room.
Okay.
And the first thing we started with was actually making use of what she already had. And so we moved some furniture and placed it strategically around her so that she did not have to get out of her seat in order to go to her printer or her file cabinet. Then we went to her desktop and we cleared that off. And so she found a home for the things on the desktop. We went to her storage and she had storage supplies all over the place. So we centralized them in one container, one system. We even had a little sitting area where we brought in a rocking chair from her front porch and brought in a lamp from another bedroom. She was thrilled, and I was thrilled because she was so happy about it.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that you're not just organizing paper, you're organizing the workspace as well so that you make it more efficient.
Yes.
And that's, again, is going to be different for each individual based on the kind of work they need to do.
Exactly. And the field that they're in.
Okay.
Also, I worked with a graphic designer, and she had a very small office as well. And she had...
And we'll talk more about that graphic designer after our break, because we need to go to break and pay for the show. Thanks. Come back and join us as we talk more about organizing.